The year 2025, right? So let's get into it. So welcome back to my channel, guys. It's been a minute, a second. What's that thing I normally say at the beginning? Well, in this episode, I'm not here to talk about anything like, oh, these are tips on how to do this. I'm even in need of tips from you. So if you have any tips, do let me know. If you notice anything on my face, I'm kind of reacting to something I really don't know yet what it is, but yeah, I have some. Yeah, but that's okay. A win is a win. A win is a win. Yeah, and the win is that I'm just that girl. Okay, guys. So if you know you like gist, if you know that you're here because you just want to hear a little tea, well, tea shall be served because that's what I do here. I discuss. I love to talk. So let's get right into it. So my year started out with a heavy on the face, and it came in different sorts. From my grandmother dying to a relationship ending and another relationship beginning. It was just a very confusing start, right? And I always used to make fun of myself. I used to say, because last year I spent Christmas in the village, so I used to say that it was because on crossover night I went upstairs to take a shower. I did, and I slept off. Like, I did not wake up by 12 to pray. I just found myself on the bed by 4 o'clock, right? So with the way the year started, I would always make fun and tell my friends that that sleep where I sleep. Now that sleep like put me for this thing. It started out very crazy. At a point, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to keep my job. I didn't know if I wanted to be in Lagos. I was trying to relocate to Abuja. It was like when something is carrying you to where you don't know. That's how my year literally started. And I even had to take a break from work because it was beginning to mess with my mind. And when you know that your head is not at work, I'm not someone that would typically just try and pretend like I'm fine when I'm not. If I'm happy, if I'm sad, you would know for sure. I don't have any reason to start lying and pretending. And I don't think anybody is worth it, okay? Mental health first. Me, I'm all about that. And then after that, my grandmother died. We had to go to the village to bury her. She was about 94-ish. And the only thing that pained me, aside her dying, of course, is that she didn't get to meet my kids. And that was one of her. There's a friend of mine that was saying, Duma, don't try now. The side eye I gave him, and I later explained to him, it was because I felt like, yeah, she's 90 something, but she was always speaking about, because she's called me Ajebo. Grandmothers now, she used to say major prayers for all of us, but there was always this indication of, I go carry your pikin, I go do this, I go do that. And she actually saw me as her husband that reincarnated, right? Because when I was born, my grandfather died 2 weeks before that time, and she used to have this mindset that her husband will never die, right? So I'm a man. In case you notice the strength, I am my grandfather. So she used to say things like that. She used to be so she used to call him Osilonia, that Osilonia came back. Do you understand? Came back for her. And this kind of you even have his stature and all of that. I say, this woman. So it was just very sad that Ma passed away, and she didn't meet her grandkids. But I thank God for a life well lived. She did the best she could while on earth. She was very strong, and her mouth, you can't pay. You see, my grandma, my mom, and my dad, you can't pay them not to say their mind. You can't give them money and say, lock up. If they like something, you know. If they don't like that thing, you will definitely know. So I miss her so much. There's her video I always post on my WhatsApp. It's all part of the missing. Then what happened? I came back from village, and I was in a relationship. It's something that didn't last though, because I kind of knew what I wanted. And I knew, see, you know one thing about me, even if I don't know what I want, if I see what I don't want, I used to know. I did know, and this whole pressure of, okay, you're 28, you need to get married, you need to settle down, started to like get to me. In fact, I started this year with a lot of pressure that I shouldn't have put on myself, right? Because a lot of the choices I made earlier on in the year had to do with the idea that I was getting older. It's not an idea, it's the reality. I am getting older, and I just kind of started to try and see how I could just, I think the only thing I'm grateful for that pressure came with was for me to start my business. I officially started my thrift business. I didn't power through like I thought I would, but I started. I sold items. Like I literally got people's numbers. I was able to approach one or two people. I remember even when I started, I would walk around the mall and be like, this is my contact, save it up, you're gonna be getting things. And I noticed that one of the things that actually made my business slow down is my current job. Of course, you cannot serve two masters. That's one thing for sure. And when people say that me that I was doing this and I was doing that, not everybody is you, and this is not even an excuse. I tried to do the whole business here, my job there, and yeah, people will say you just post it on your WhatsApp. A lot of in fact, for a very long time, my job has been my everything, right? And it's like being in a relationship for the longest. It's like being in a relationship for the longest, and you just want to just leave that relationship somehow. It's not easy. I can't even equate it to a relationship. My job is a huge chunk of my, it takes a huge chunk of my time, and because of this, I just found myself really struggling. But I remember one day when I was losing hope about selling off my items. I remember like I was laying on the bed, right? And I believe that God spoke to me that day, because he was like, so Susan, you bought all those things to eat it or what? Go sell them. And God speaks pidgin too, so listen. And he's like, go sell her. And I'm like, of course I want to sell it off. Like I didn't buy it to wear it. And he's like, okay, you're working at the mall. What will it cost you? Carry your carrier to the mall. I sent a message to my best friend, because both of us started together. And then I told her, babes, what's up? Oh yeah, carry your carrier, come work. You will not believe that day we sold. The next day we sold. And before I knew it, I was sold out. Like literally, I went to the market again to restock. Now, the second time I went to the market, it took a while, because I believe the first time I ever started my business was in May. Officially, I started in May. I had a timeline of starting in March, but I started in May. And then I remember selling off as let's say July. Going back to the market again, I believe was like about August or so. Fell sick in September. This is me still giving you people a rundown. And I'm actually grateful for the kind of person I am. I am not someone that's like, sometimes when some of my colleagues or friends would, they want to tell me what they noticed about me, I would just be laughing. Are you the one to tell me who I am? Don't you know that I know? Before you even think of it, this head, I am an overthinker. I graduated from the University of Overthinking. So before you can give me instances, I've already thought about it. Trust me. And the good thing is that I talk to myself after people talk to me, right? For example, let's say I do something and you don't like it. As you have expressed yourself to me, I won't just swallow what you've said. I will apologize. In fact, I'm known for apologizing. That's why if I see people, we know they apologize, I quickly dispose of them. I don't believe that they should be in my clan. So like, yeah, I quickly apologized and I sit with myself. I think one of the things that has helped me to grow has been telling myself the truth. I tell myself the truth all the time. And I'm really, really, really into people that are very, very, very graceful, right? Because I feel personally, I extend a lot of grace to people. But sometimes certain people feel like they cannot extend the same grace to me. And it's okay. It's fine. You don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. I just feel like as a human being, that whole she's the cause of, she's the are you perfect? Nope. So just kind of chill. So yeah, about my business, it's still in progress, right? I am just trying to find my feet. I wanted to say foot. Is it foot or feet? I used to have a friend who liked to correct my English, but no longer a friend, sadly. So yeah, I'm still in that phase of, okay, how do I do this? How do I make it work? Because then again, in my job, I have had to shuffle different roles in different timelines, right? And the truth is, I found a way around it. So me telling you that my job takes a lot of my time is not an excuse for me not to still make my own money. So it's just for me to sit with myself, draft out like, okay, Suzanne, you have 2 days off in a week. According to my last talking stage, you say, because I told him, I said, I want to build a house that has a balcony, right? And he's like, okay, how are you going to build that house? You will not make sacrifices, like you want, because he advised, like, okay, you have 2 off days. What do you do on Saturdays? I'm like, Saturday that I need to rest, that I need to. And he was like, yo, you want to rest? You want to be rich? Oh my god. So yeah, I actually would find a middle ground to that. I don't want to talk too much about my business. Whatever I want to do about my life is here. I'm only giving you a rundown. And let's dive into love. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Okay, so this year, I think this is like the longest, because you know me and love. Laughing a lot, but I love it. So this year, when it came to like love, right? Yeah, there were a few talking stage here and there. Like I said, I got into a relationship, lasted for 1 month. I used to yab myself with one relationship I had in school that was 18 days. And I left because he wasn't treating me right. He later apologized, but I left still. I would always leave. Right? And this is not to say that I don't work on things. In fact, I love to work on things, but you can't be working on your own now. It's Sacham, a Sachamge. By the way, I'm trying to learn Igbo, so in case I sprinkle a little of it, bear with me. So yeah, relationship-wise, I started this year with a heavy heart because it was kind of heavy. I didn't know where I was at the time with that. And then sometime after my grandmother's burial, I got into a relationship with someone, and the person in question was just was a very funny person. I think he wanted a slave. He wanted someone that would, a yes woman, like, when I'm talking, don't talk, I am the man. He literally made statements like that about being the man. I say, you never even put me for a house, you don't need to tell me you're a man. I'm not blind, I can see that. So if you start saying you're a man, you're a man, you're a man, are you supposed to be a woman? I know they date women, like, So he started with that, but whatever, I left as usual. I left because why not? It was too hard. Like, being with you is literally hard for no reason. Like, I would try to avoid problems, but somehow he would cook up problems where there are none. And being with someone like that, I knew myself to an extent. I wouldn't do that just to be a title, no, of wife. He even told me when I was leaving that, oh, do you think it's easy outside? Do you think there's anything outside? Okay, you want to leave me and go and date somebody else because you think that one will be easier. Remember, I said, I don't even know what's outside, but this isn't mine. We're not meant to be. So, and after that, I haven't been in a relationship ever since. I decided to take my time, and I had a few talking stage here and there. But one good thing about this year was that I did not fall in love. Like, even the guy I was dating, I wasn't in love with him. I liked him, and that was how it started. And I liked someone else recently, but that also did not. And I will say this, because I don't want to talk on that person's topic for too long. I will say this though. sometimes you meet people, right, and they're like, they're funny, they're fun, they're exciting to be with, but you have to look past that. His values and mine did not align. There were things he saw as normal that I didn't see as normal. And this even takes me to like Ebuka's podcast, Mentality with Ebuka. I've not missed this season. I love it so much. Where he said, him and his wife shared like values, right? And I didn't even know about this until I started like watching videos. Especially YouTube. Go and be watching YouTube videos. Like, by the way, don't take everything. Like I said, even when people talk to me, I still go home and go and remove the one that doesn't concern me and take the one that does, right? I'm always like, see, I actually, just the way they say men know what they want, Susan knows what she wants, at least to an extent. Can't say totally. There are times when I'm like, I don't know, I want parfait, but at the same time, I want big juice. Yeah. So yeah, he was a fun person. He was someone that was very, very, very into life. Normally I'm the talker in my friend group, but this guy could talk for days, and I enjoyed conversations with him. But I also I was worried for so many reasons, because whilst he was trying to sell something to me, because they will sell something to you, you will also be selling something to them. While I was selling something to me, I could tell that wasn't that wasn't going to be it, because there were things he said that disturbed me. Being that when I was a child, there's this particular environment I grew up in. If I meet someone that has the same kind of mindset, just like some of the people you went to school with, right? You notice that when people are talking, you guys have like shared, you have shared values, shared ideas. You kind of relate to an extent on a certain level that's really high. That's why it's easy to like talk to them. I'm not saying that it has to be someone you went to school with. I'm just giving an example. So in his case, it was a case of, okay, oh, is this how you think? Oh, wow, okay. So many things were kind of just disturbing, to say the least. But he's an amazing person. Funny, fun, jovial. But I realized that I'm not going to live off of funny, fun, and jovial, right? He's a hardworking person. Yeah, that's why he was telling me that house I want to build, it's not by staying at home. And I can't forget it, because it was in a funny moment, but he was still like, yo, are you listening to yourself? So yeah, that was like the most recent talking stage and all that. And yeah, right now, today's date is November 16th, and I'm not going to make promises I don't think I'm going to keep. It wasn't easy to even put this camera here. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I just knew I wanted to talk, and this is it. So do like, share, and comment. My plans for next year are not yours, so I can't share exactly. I would love to leave Nigeria. How about that? But yeah, my heart is full. I am, like I said, I didn't fall in love this year. It was like the highlight of my year. Heart aches. No. I look forward to falling in love, of course. Above anything, I look forward to doing things I love, like things I genuinely enjoy, right? I feel like, to an extent, this ending of the year was very depressing for me. I was just waking up. Like, when you just wake up, you're just, it's morning. You rise. It's morning. You rise again. Osumio. Like, the tea tired me. I wasn't happy. I wasn't talking much. I went very quiet for a while. I'm not even talking about a long time, like a month, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week ago. That was how I was. I don't know exactly where I am now, but I think I'm slightly better than I was. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed the gist, please like, share, and comment. I am so happy that I made this video, and I hope to make more, talking about anything and everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Also, for the girls, if you know what is going on here, please let me know, because me, I'm confused. And for my hairstyle, with the weather, it's perfect. See ya. Bye.